The UK has confirmed the world's first coronavirus death linked to Omicron. The Health Secretary has warned that the variant is spreading at the most rapid rate ever seen and is set to become dominant in London by Wednesday. Sajid Javid said that there are now an estimated 200,000 new infections per day. In the 24 hours between Sunday and Monday, the UK reported 1,576 new Omicron infections. More than 81% of Britons are double jabbed, which puts the country slightly behind Denmark at 82% and Portugal at 81.9%, but well ahead of Bulgaria, Romania and Slovakia, which are all below the 50% level. Booster jabs will now be rolled out to all adults in England. Our reporter Taig Enright now joins us live from London. Taig, good to see you. So, given the Health Secretary's warnings, could the UK be seeing more restrictions at Christmas?
Hi, Mariam. Yes, that has been the message from Downing Street earlier today, that more restrictions could be possible. We don't know exactly what yet. The latest increase in restrictions are making working from home a requirement again, more mask wearing required in places like shops, and vaccine certificates required for places like nightclubs and big venues. But it has to be stressed that there is still resistance here. Nobody's talking about introducing vaccine certification for places like pubs and restaurants, as is commonplace in other parts of the world, despite the warning that we heard from the Prime Minister last night that a tidal wave of Omicron could be looming.
So, Taig, let's talk about this booster campaign then. They're ramping it up in the UK. 30 million people are eligible, so that's 1 million people to vaccinate a day. How's that going?
Well, it's just getting underway. It is a big target. The Prime Minister pointing out that they would have to break the UK's existing single-day record for getting jabs into arms and keep it at that level for some time. Now, to do so, staff in the healthcare system are being diverted from non-emergency tasks to performing, to getting the vaccine capacity up to that speed. So far, uptake has been actually overwhelming the system. There have been reports of the booking website crashing and queues lasting for hours at walk-in vaccine centres. The appeal is, though, to everyone to actually get out there, make the necessary arrangements to get their jab. The government has reassured the general public that it has got enough doses on standby. The challenge will be getting those doses into people's arms.
Sure. And then let's come to the UK Prime Minister. He's, of course, facing another tough week, slipping in the polls, questions about, Downing Street gatherings. And on Tuesday, he's going to face backlash from his own party and possibly over further COVID restrictions. So can he get his party and the public on board?
Yeah, pretty unfortunate timing when it comes to getting the public on board for new COVID restrictions. What we're talking about here, Mariam, of course, is two different strands of public support. Support for restrictions themselves and support for Boris Johnson as Prime Minister. Of course, they are intertwined, and there are questions as to whether the general public will follow tougher guidelines when a spotlight has been shone on whether Johnson and his own team were indeed following them at the height of the pandemic this time last year. In Parliament tomorrow, he's facing a backlash from his own MPs. Dozens of them are expected to vote against the latest COVID restrictions when it goes to a vote. Now, it is expected that the legislation will carry with the help of support from the opposition Labour Party, but it will be another dent to Boris Johnson's overall authority after weeks of bruising scandals. Some have even started to talk, even among loyalists, about the end of days for Johnson. But when it comes to overall support for restrictions, it has to be said that among the general public, they are generally more favourable towards restrictions than the Conservative Party and its members themselves. And pollsters at the well-respected polling organisation YouGov have pointed to the fact that with warnings becoming more dire about the winter ahead, well, support for restrictions among the general public has risen in line with that. Mariam?
All right, Taig Enright, thank you so much. Austria has now lifted its lockdown measures and today reopened non-essential shops, but only for those who are fully vaccinated. It brings an end to 3 weeks of restrictions which were brought in to try and combat a rising wave of infections. Restaurants, museums and entertainment venues opened on Sunday. Those who are unvaccinated remain subject to lockdown restrictions and need to remain at home unless they are exercising, seeing a doctor or buying groceries.